Hello and welcome to Smart Tech. Wow, this is an interesting episode that you're going to be watching today because we have an exciting guest with us today, and I cannot believe that we have the founder of Kara. Well, I can't believe it because he is here with me. Welcome, Mutawazi. I'm so happy to see you once again because we have met before while we're talking about Kara, and now this is the second time we are meeting on the same topic. But powering African entrepreneurs in terms of mobility and in terms of energy is what Kara does, and Kara is one of the companies that is looking at the last mile delivery in terms of transportation. And these guys are doing away with the fuel, they're doing away with things concerning, high prices of fuel, high prices of delivery that you're facing, and all this is being narrowed down to Kara. But someone watching us may be asking, what is Kara? When we talk of Kara, what is Kara? Some people, do you remember in high school, Kara was slang for electricity?
Yeah.
But that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Kara was slang for electricity. So I think if there is anyone from maybe where the schools that use a lot of slang,
yeah.
SMARC,
yeah.
If there is someone from SMARC,
yeah.
they may be saying, okay, are we talking about electricity today?
Yeah.
Please, clear the air.
So for Ugandans, Kara is self-explanatory. It means electricity. It's a slang for electricity. And interestingly, it came from the word current. So current.
But the spelling is different. It's very different. Current and then Kara. Please explain.
You cannot explain slang. Unless we go back to the founder of the word, but it's probably some kid who was bored in school and didn't want to say current and just cut it to Kara. But one of the things that we've set out to do with Kara is to create productive assets or to build productive assets that enable African entrepreneurs and African youth to basically earn more and be empowered in multiple ways. So some of the things that we're building are electric bicycles, and these electric bicycles are enabling food delivery riders and last mile transportation companies and small businesses to deliver goods and services to their customers. Now, when you look at delivery in general, it's mostly done on motorcycles in Uganda and many parts of Africa. And what you basically know about motorcycles is, one, you need a permit, so that really excludes a lot of people, or most of the people that are actually riding don't even have permits, and they keep on dodging police, dodging all kinds of places. And the second and most contentious point is fuel. The world is transitioning towards clean mobility and clean energy and electric cars. But this is mainly because we've been using non-renewable sources of fuel. And these non-renewable sources of fuel are very, limited in terms of where we can source them from. Some countries do produce fuel, and those countries that produce fuel could have certain challenges. So there could be a war, there could be a conflict, there could be price hikes, and there could be different challenges that cause the price of fuel to go up. And when it does, guess who suffers the most? The rider who's using that fuel to transport people, to transport goods, to transport services, which really impacts their earning, really increases their costs, and at the end of the day really increases the cost of the cost. That cost is passed on both to the end user and to the companies that are doing delivery. So that makes it very expensive for riders to earn enough money, and for customers to consume a lot of products from businesses, both big and small. So that's why we started Kara. which is leveraging electric bicycles, which, being electric, use electricity, don't need a permit. So literally anyone above the age of 18 can ride an electric bicycle, and also utilize renewable sources of electricity, because I mean, it's if you look at Uganda's energy mix, we mostly generate renewable electricity from hydro power stations, and we also generate more electricity than we can actually use. So we seem to be in a situation where there's a lot of opportunity to reduce our carbon emissions, increase employment, reduce dependence on imported fuel, while also providing jobs for small businesses.
I'm here thinking to myself, you know, like how many organizations today are very much interested in climate smart solutions. I think to me, this is a very, very important project for any organization looking at climate smart solutions. But climate smart solutions is not why we're here today. It's not. But for those watching us today, we have the founder of Kara, and he insists that last mile delivery is very important, and this is one of the systems that has, you know, that has actually created an impact in our environment. You see, but then, first of all, these bicycles, these electric bicycles, myself, I've seen them at Makerere University. That's the first time I was able to see those, without even meeting you, by the way. I was able to see those electric bicycles. People were actually using them within Makerere University, and that was very, very impactful for me. You know, I was wondering, hey, who is making these bicycles? And now today, you're the man.
So interestingly, plot twist, the bicycles in Makerere are run by another company called Digital Bikes.
Digital Bikes. So it's not only car making these electric
so bicycles. Those bicycles are actually not electric. They are normal bicycles.
Not electric bicycles.
So one of the things that we've seen with bicycles, I mean, bicycles can be ridden anywhere, right? But it's very unique for a city like Kampala. Kampala is in many cases referred to as the city of 7 hills. And with Greater Kampala, there's a lot more than 7 hills. It's a very hilly terrain. So riding a normal bicycle in Kampala, you'll arrive at every destination sweating, or you'll have to be a pro cyclist to be able to, you know, ride all day or use that as your primary means of transportation in a city like Kampala. So that's why we decided not to just do normal bicycles, but to do electric bicycles, because it's easier to go up hills compared to...
Does it mean you don't need to paddle?
You don't need to pedal as much. So there are two types of...
the traditional.
Yes. So there are two types of electric bicycles. There are electric bicycles that use a pedal assist system, and there are throttle electric bicycles. So throttle electric bicycles have a throttle, and you just push a throttle and it goes. It's almost like a motorcycle.
But specifically, these bicycles are for goods only. You don't deal with transportation of human beings from one place to another. It's just definitely goods that you deliver, right?
So we've actually built the bicycles in a way that they are versatile. They can be used for transporting people, but can also be used for transporting goods. But in starting out, we decided to start with transportation of goods, mainly because it was one of the most organized ecosystems we could execute this in without and pretty much have a very good proof of concept that enables us then branch out into other use cases. So we've also developed other bicycle models that can transport people, but we are going fast to market with bicycles for commercial purposes, particularly transportation of goods and all that. Why? If you look at even motorcycles are built in a way that yes, they can transport people, but the motorcycles being used for personal transportation in Uganda particularly are very few, and most of the motorcycles are actually being used for commercial transportation, so transporting people and transporting goods and services.
Let's talk about something that has been on my mind, and that is what we call lead time. Most people watching us who have businesses and who would want to do away with the motorcycles and now buy the idea of these electric bicycles. They would be wondering, I have ordered for my food from Cafe Javas. They have put it on a bicycle. I'm assuming I'm a very hungry client. Now I want this thing to come to me in a very, 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 very short test period of time. Are these bicycles capable of doing that? Are these bicycles capable of shortening the lead time?
Yes, absolutely. Mainly because in urban areas, you have start-stop traffic, right? So it's very rare that you're going to have a bicycle or a motorcycle traveling at 50 kilometers per hour constantly. In many cases, we've seen that the average speed of motorcycles in urban areas like Kampala, according to recent studies, is about 20 to 25 kilometers per hour.
What's the average speed for these electric bicycles?
So our top speed is 32 kilometers per hour, but during as we've run the bicycles in the Kampala city recently, our average speed has actually come up to about 16 to 20 kilometers per hour. So it's very rare that we even hit the 32 kilometers per hour because there's jam, you're avoiding a taxi, then because of the nature of the city, you can't travel that fast. However, our bicycles are actually faster than motorcycles because of certain reasons. Now,
I need to know those reasons.
I'll give you an example. If you're riding from Bugolobi to deliver a package to Kampala, to Smart 24 TV, which for the viewers is located around opposite Garden City, right? You'd have to come through, if you're getting that KFC maybe bucket for Clinton. Clinton is hungry, he's waiting for his chicken.
Yeah, I'm waiting, I'm very hungry.
If that bicycle or motorcycle, let's say a motorcycle is coming from Village Mall in Bugolobi, which is one of the closest KFC branches, it would have to pass through the Ginger Road traffic lights. Now, the Ginger Road traffic lights, there's a gentleman called the traffic policeman. That traffic policeman will stop you if you're unlucky, if you're a motorcycle rider, and ask you a number of questions. And if you fail those questions, if you fail that interview, you will lose your motorcycle. It will be impounded and then you'll have to go pick it up.
Or preferably if you didn't have a permit.
Yes. So the interview is because of a number of reasons. So do you have a reflector jacket? Do you have a permit? And in many cases, most of the riders don't. Yeah. Even when they do, you'll get flagged for all kinds of reasons. Your side mirror is broken. You don't have protective wear. Your helmet is old. Your tires are worn out. It will be so many reasons. So meaning a motorcycle rider will have to actually take the longer route of passing through Kololo and avoiding that junction, which usually has traffic policemen. Now, an electric bicycle rider doesn't have any of those challenges, doesn't need a permit, only needs to have their reflective wear and a helmet and protective gear, which we do provide as part of the package to the riders. So we provide them with protective gear, and delivery partners also provide the riders with reflective gear and ensure that they have all the equipment that is required.
So you're telling me that you have not had any complaints from any clients about delays, about come on guys, where are you at, where have you reached? You have not received any of those complaints from any of your clients?
No. We've actually received more applause than complaints. We've some of some of the clients do say, hey, it's interesting that you got here so fast.
Yeah.
What's the secret with your bike? And because our bicycles are electric but also not very obviously electric, they don't have like we try to design them without very visible electric components. Most customers actually think they are normal bicycles.
Now, with electric bicycles, what is your target audience? What are the people that you're targeting to? So you know what, you people can use this for your business. You can use this for your business. You can upskill your business using these electric bicycles and actually prefer them more compared to motorcycles. When you actually started Kara with these electric bicycles, what was your target audience?
So our target audience is really businesses and youth.
I'm guessing delivery businesses, those businesses that do the door-to-door kind of delivery system?
So primarily, you have one. I mean, if you look at the delivery ecosystem, there are a lot of use cases that we actually overlook. Now, one, you have food delivery, package delivery, that's an obvious thing. So your DHLs, your Aramex, FedEx that deliver packages, and then you have Jumia, Glovo, and the likes. And then you have interesting businesses like milk depots or dairies. These already transport their milk using bicycles, both in urban and rural areas. So in rural areas, you find that a farmer is using a bicycle to transport their milk to a milk collection or cooling center every morning and every evening using a bicycle already. How about if this bicycle is electric? They would be able to travel faster, they would be able to do more with their time, and they would also avoid switching or having to switch to motorcycles. Secondly, you'd look at another not so obvious business, which is which we've already started building solutions. A solution for is wholesalers or FMCG businesses. So when I grew up, when I was growing up in Machindi, my grandmother had a retail shop, and this retail shop, whenever we would go to a place in Machindi called Madinisa. So Madinisa is right after the army barracks as you go up that hill, and our shop was on Salama Road. So we would take that shortcut, would pass, we'd take a shortcut and go to the wholesale shop to get supplies for the shop. And guess what we were using to transport the supplies? We're using a bicycle. So the wholesaler who used to supply us had a bicycle, would load everything. I would sit on the top tube of the bicycle, and it was so exciting. Trust me, it was adventure. For me, it was you're sitting on a bicycle and it was fun, right? But this business is basically using a bicycle not because it's the best use it's the best asset they can use, but because it's the cheapest asset they can use, because you don't need fuel, you don't need a permit, you don't need skilled labor, you can employ literally anyone. But in terms of the people we are targeting to ride these bicycles, one, the average age of farmers in rural areas is actually dropping. It's actually increasing. So you're finding that most farmers are actually older. So those farmers can no longer cycle to deliver their produce from the farm to the market. So those are people that we're targeting. And why is this happening? Because a lot of the youth are actually running away from the villages and coming to the cities to ride borders. So meaning we are also targeting the youth who are coming to the cities to engage in commerce. to actually contribute to that canvas using cheaper assets that they can basically start with, and also cleaner assets. So we're targeting both those as our riders, and already, I mean, the average age of most of our riders currently is about 20 years. So most of our riders are S6 vacists, you know, university students that are actually already studying, or in some form of, you know, training institution or technical institution, and we've seen a lot of uptake from those, mainly because they don't have the money to buy a motorcycle, but they also don't have those permits, they don't have all these things that are required to get a motorcycle.
But before we go into the next session, which will have the most technical questions, but then I just wanted to know, especially for our viewers, where can we find these electric bicycles, and then we can have them do these businesses of ours?
So we actually have a lot more demand than we can supply so far. So
yeah, you've always said that
we don't have,
there's a lot of demand. You have to tell me about this demand.
The demand is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's the supply. So we are currently building some more bicycles. We have also been setting up our local. We've been building our local battery assembly capacity, mainly because we don't want to provide an asset that we cannot, 1, assemble locally, 2, design locally, and 3, maintain locally. So at the moment, you basically have to visit www.kara.africa, KARAA.africa, and reach out to us. We are based at Motive in Bugolobi, in case you'd like to meet physically. But we are currently working mostly with businesses, directly with businesses, to provide these bicycles to their riders. And very soon we will be opening up to the general public that wants to acquire these electric bicycles for themselves, but more gradually. So over time we will be opening up to the public, but for now it's mostly a B2B solution, and whoever needs the bicycles basically just has to reach out to us.
Good. Guys, thank you for being with us for this very first session. I hope you enjoyed it. We have so much more coming from Mr. Mutabazi, the founder of Kara, and he has so much to tell you about these electric bicycles and how they operate, how they work, the distance it covers. There's a lot much that we're going to discuss in the next session. Stay tuned.